time. Welcome to Mongo is Appalled. I am Corbett, and I'm relatively appalled sometimes, but most of the time I am calm. How about you, Mike?
Well, being as I feel hip and funky fresh today, I'm
Ooh.
hippalled. Eh? Eh? See what I
Yep.
did there? Because the thing, anyway.
Play that funky music, pale lad.
Lay down the boogie. Anyway.
So, Mike, have you watched anything good on TV lately?
Nothing dungeony
Or Crawley?
or Carly.
Because this time around we are talking about the television show coming out allegedly. The rumors are pretty heavy at this point, though. I'm sure everybody's heard it at least once that there's a live action, which is a little hard to believe, a live action television show coming out for Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is being made by Fuzzy Door Productions, Seth MacFarlane's company, who they currently do Ted, which is on Peacock, which is where they'll be doing this. They also did the Orville, Family Guy, American Dad. You get the idea. Seth MacFarlane stuff. So, Mike, I think it's fair to say it'll be a funny show because it's funny as is. Seth MacFarlane generally makes stuff pretty funny. So let's talk about the bad part of this.
Let's.
I think it's fair to say there's no way in hell you can cram that book into a television show.
Well, certainly.
Not without losing things. Something.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm more concerned about it being live action than I am being on TV. Because when they first started talking about doing it as an animated show, I'm like, okay, yeah, that could work. I can't wait. That'll be cool. And now, relatively recently, in the past couple of weeks, we've heard that it's going to be live action now. I'm leery. Not that I have a problem with Seth MacFarlane necessarily, but live action is more expensive.
This is true.
And if it's more expensive, then there's going to be greater pressure on numbers, viewing numbers, streaming numbers.
I think for a first season, it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, they're obviously going to have to put in some CGI. I mean, it would just have to be because there's no way you can get Donut to fully not turn and talk.
Unless you do that old 70s Disney live action where, what was that? There was a show, I cannot think of the name of it, but it was
Sabrina
Cat from Outer
the Witch.
Space.
Oh, the Cat from Outer Space. Well, that's where they light up color, though.
Yeah, but they did feel the need to draw in a moving mouth or anything.
Well, but they had the color. It would flash when the cat talked.
Well, yeah, but that was way
helpful.
better, easier than doing moving lips.
I know on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, they had the cat that would switch between a real cat and a puppet.
Yeah.
And I would bet they would stick to real cat and possible CG. But the thing is, it'll be the first 2 floors, which I would guess would be the first season, and that depends on a lot.
Basically the first book.
Yeah, the first book is all inside a dungeon, so it'll be dark, kind of easy to throw in CG stuff easily and build up a following. It'll be the second book or the third floor where it gets complicated, where they have outdoor stuff happening.
Well, I don't have Peacock, but I have heard that they went on and canceled Starfleet Academy, even though they already had a second season done.
There was a lot of general fan separation from it.
Well,
there were people who loved it, people who hated it, and they all wanted to throw it down immediately. Well, I don't know. I watched the first show. I wasn't enamored by it. Jim watched it, and he was totally enamored by it. So
right. And that's the thing, I mean, obviously Denneman is going to have some input, but how much? Will it transfer well to the screen?
No, it's a matter of how MacFarlane takes it. I think he'll take it and make something fun out of it because it's already fun. So all he has to do is kind of sharpen the sword, basically. There's really no hard area there to like, oh, you've got to come up with all new jokes. Like, not really. These are all pretty well laid in place. The only thing he has to do is make it fit into either a 30-minute format or a 1-hour format.
But he's not the only feedback.
This
Peacock
is true.
Will have, being live action, one gets the impression this is going to be catered to adults rather than kids.
True.
Which I'm pretty sure the animated would have been the same, but in this country, there's still a portion of the population that believes, well, if it's animated, it's got to be for kids. What?
Yeah.
I'm just old and cynical, but I'm more concerned. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love for a live action Dungeon Crawler Carl to knock our socks off and get Game of Thrones level seasons out of it. Fine by me.
I mean, it would be cool, but my only big worry is if there's major changes to the storyline that don't have any justification.
Well, they certainly can't pull a Game of Thrones. Well, the books aren't. Well, no, they're not all done, but he's got 7.
Well, that's what Game of Thrones did. They started putting them out before the books were finished. In fact, I don't think the books have been finished, have they?
No.
See? Kills the book.
Let's face it, if the series could end right now, and you'd still have plenty of TV out of it.
Oh, yeah. Several years.
So,
and
that's
Cinnamon still putting them out pretty fresh. So,
and that's not even counting variants like the Florence graphic novel or.
But here, let me give you a for instance. Just a for instance. And I don't know anything about the show, so don't hold me up to a flame on this. I'm just saying, for instance, a producer goes, hey, it's kind of funny this guy and his cat are running around with a rat guy and figuring out a dungeon, but wouldn't it be better if his girlfriend went in too? Maybe like him and Brad the Chad show up and they were out boinking and just showed up just as Carl and the cat go in, and then they go in after and wind up crisscrossing through the dungeon. That'd be a lot funnier, wouldn't it?
Oh, and even better, we'll have the Pet Biscuit causes Donut and Beatrice to merge into one cat girl character, so we can have a dramatic triangle between Brad and Carl. That's how TV execs think, though.
I know. You know how I feel about cat girls.
Yeah. Well, that's funnier if she is a cat girl. See? See?
See, and that's where I worry is they take an idea like, hey, this is going to be better, because I can see. Okay, something I was talking to you about before we started the show was that like they'll try to introduce characters sooner because it'll be better for people to get to relate to them. And like Katya is one that I could see them trying to push earlier. Like she gets separated from Hekla's team way early and winds up with Carl and Donut before they even fight like the ball of swine. So it's the 3 of them running to the dungeon. So number 1, you have the instant.
Or not even do that, have Katya as one of the nurses at Meadowlark.
Yeah, something along those lines. And the whole story with Meadowlark, I don't know. See, that you're looking at, if you go with the book as 1 season, that's 2 floors in the first book. The Ball of Swine would be mid-season hit. The big fight with the bike and the bomb launcher and the demon would be the, of course, climactic moment at the end of the season. So you're talking like, what, presuming it's a 10-episode season, man, that's going to be tight. If it's a 30-minute show, it's really tight.
But that's a good point. How many episodes are we talking about? Because if it's streaming, it could be anything from 6 to 16.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I presume they'll produce up to the Ball of Swine to kind of like, here's what it's going to be like. And then they'll either cut it or launch it, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
But at least you will have met Meadowlark, so that's pretty exciting. You'll have met Agatha, kind of cool. Frank and Maggie Mai would have popped in.
Or they'll get rid of Frank and Maggie Mai.
That'd be rough. That's a big.
That would be, because not only does it modify the whole thing with Chris, but it also kind of reduces the obvious example of not every guide is like Mordecai.
Yeah.
So, but hey, we're not the execs. And for books, they may not have a choice. They may be told, you need to tell the first book in 6 episodes. Yeah. You have an hour, but you have 6 episodes.
If it was BBC, I'd bet good money it'd be great.
Like, possibly. I don't underestimate any studio to screw something up.
Well, no, it's true. I think McFarlane, at least at McFarlane Studio, knows how to make something that is funny. Yes. So I have no real worries that it should not be missing any jokes that weren't there already.
Certainly not the major ones.
Yeah, they're going to be there. They're going to be right in tone and probably work. I will admit, I think the hard part is you've 100% got to have Donut talking before the end of the first episode, or nobody's going to pay attention.
Or right at the end, have her turn to Carl and say something, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how tight they are for time, it may have to happen within the first 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, but you're looking at probably losing, the garbage lady. Or the bag lady,
Agatha?
The first boss they fight. No. The one they first fight.
The first
hoarder. Boss. The hoarder.
Yeah.
You'll lose her, but you'll probably keep the lizard bro.
The
Come at
juicer.
me, bro. Yeah.
The juicer, yeah, because he's funny. The hoarder is kind of
Sympathetic and
horrifying.
sad. Yeah.
Sad and horrifying.
The baby thing, they might, I don't know, they got to have the goblins because you can't have the goblins without having the bicycle.
Yeah.
So, and that also leads to the whole bit with why the demon needs to be thrown down the stairs. The goblins will probably pop up. Oh man, it's just like so many things that will probably get cut and so many things that will probably be thrown in. And then, of course, anything else they feel like throwing in because they feel like it needs more or they need to put characters in sooner. You know, you meet Meadowlark, maybe like Team Meadowlark and Carl are all in the same block, so they all go in together.
And an example for getting rid of the hoarder is like for a TV show, you may want to build up to the, hey, these are real people, rather than having it come right out the gate.
Yeah.
That works for a book, but maybe not so much for a TV show.
Well, the first couple books, he spends a lot of time reminiscing and going, oh my gosh, my world's gone. Holy crap, there's nobody left. This is it.
Yeah.
Later on, he's much more heartfelt, but he's kind of always going back to his mantra in the first few books of, you will not break me. I will make this happen.
Right.
That really builds the character for him. So that's what they got to focus on, I think, to make it solid. I'm not saying it can't be good. I'm just saying it definitely needs a good hand at the wheel.
Right. And they've got to have the freedom to be able to do it, because that's the thing. Denneman, McFarlane, they may be going in this with the absolute best of intentions, but there's all sorts of things that can screw it up. There's Peacock executives. Here's another thing. What if, because of the actor and actress choices, that whoever they get to play Brandon is way popular?
Okay.
Then this studio is going to go, show him more.
Oh.
Viewers are going to go, show him more.
And you can't let him go.
Right. So, well, now he has to stay with Carl and Donut no matter what. He has to leave Meadowlark because, well, the studio says he's popular. The fans say they love that actor. Let's modify it to this. So there's all sorts of things that can come up when you do TV.
And some of it's like you got to fight for it. I don't know where Matt Dinneman's going to lay his gauntlet down. Or if he's just like, thanks for the cash and go right off in the sunset on his jet ski.
I mean, I've read stuff that, yeah, he's one of the executive producers, but there was a couple of Marvel movies, some of the earlier ones, where Stan Lee was listed as an executive producer, and he freely admitted in his biographies that basically he showed up, made a couple of comments, they ignored him, so he stopped showing up. So they wanted to just be able to put Stan Lee's name as executive producer on this film. I think it was one of the Hulks. But
well, we know how those Hulk movies came out.
Yeah.
I think the difference here, though, in comparison, is that the fandom for Dungeon Crawler Carl is pretty whole still. I don't feel like it's subdivided or we don't like the way they like this or they don't like the way, like, it's still very much, hey, you're doing the thing. I love the thing. We should do more of the thing. They're all
Battlestar Galactica
very,
was pretty uniform too until the remake came out.
it's like when Star Trek changed and the new
some
new
love
Trek,
it, some hate it.
or Next Generation versus original, newer Trek versus older new Trek, which somehow is newer than old Trek, then new Trek, and oh come on, let's get over that. Same with Star Wars.
the Song of Ice and Fire fans, as opposed to the ones who only knew it from A Game of Thrones, the TV show.
Oh.
And they were bigger in numbers, I believe, than the people who enjoyed the books.
Yeah.
So again, I don't mean to be Debbie Downer here. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'm just very uncertain.
Melancholy Mike. I guess we could do it.
They might break me. Yeah.
I'm going to lean on Seth MacFarlane for this. I will blame him to the day I... No, but I think he can appreciate fandom and he can appreciate funny stuff, obviously.
And fandom, I think, has more clout in Hollywood than it did even 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. So that might help too.
Well, before he did the Orville, there's a famous commentary where he met with Patrick Stewart, like the original cast of The Next Generation. And the whole time he was just like wide-eyed, open mouth, looking back and forth while they talked at this dinner because he was still a fan.
Right.
He had done Family Guy and all these other, because he had Patrick Stewart on American Dad as one of the regulars. And he's like, oh, why don't you come out didn't have lunch for this. And they all go out and it's just him like fanboying it up like any of us would. Going, oh man, this is so cool. Oh, it's Jordy talking.
Like the
Yeah.
Wayne's World movie. We're
Yeah.
not worthy. We're not worthy.
He knows the fandom and he appreciates it. And if you watch Orville, you go, oh, okay, this is somebody who appreciated Star Trek and kind of did his own version, but did not make fun. He didn't go out and make fun of the original. He kind of made fun with it, I guess is the best way to say it. And I think I want to believe that he's going to come into Dungeon Crawler Carl with the same kind of attitude, maybe a little more brazen because of the fact that he doesn't have, nobody's done it before on video, TV, movie, and maybe he'll figure out a plan that'll make it work. You know, we'll do 2 or 3 seasons, then we'll do a movie, and then we'll do 2 or 3 seasons, a movie or something like that. I'm cool for that. I know he's going to have to go with nobodies because there's no way you can't get big names. It'll have to be people that are either nobodies or people that are friends of Seth MacFarlane who have been in his stuff before, which would be hilarious if Patrick Stewart becomes Mordecai. But that would be something else.
I don't know that I'd want him as Mordecai.
I'm just saying, he has a lot of celebrity friends he has on other animated shows and come through to do the voice acting. But I think Carl is going to have to be a nobody. Because I've pointed out so many options that, that guy would be great. Oh, he's 60. Well, what about that guy? Oh, he's 55. I'm like, okay, what about that guy? He's 48. It's like, oh, geez, is there nobody young in Hollywood anymore?
No,
and they're all people
just
that we don't
old,
know.
and they're the people we think of as go-tos.
Yeah, the first go-to I would do for Carl would be Bruce Campbell from 78 to 85, somewhere in there. Perfect. But unfortunately, it's not that time, and he is much, much older.
Yeah.
I think one of my next choices was like Ben Browder from Farscape, totally on par with Carl, but he's in his late 50s.
You see, again, animated, that you could get past a lot of this.
That's true. You could get past a lot of this stuff, but anybody who I visually fits in my head doesn't match up by time.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Donut can be anybody because it'll be a voice. Mordecai can pretty much be anybody because it'll be a voice.
He changes every time anyway.
Katya could almost be anybody, but I presume you'd want to go with a standard face that sort of adjusts. But the thing is, if you go with Katya as the Picasso painting from the very first time you meet her, like through the first season, and then she gets her full face by the end,
they may
could
have
almost
to
go with anybody.
That up. Maybe just have one episode where she's Picasso, then from then on, so that you don't have as much CGI to have to pay for. Either way, guess we'll see.
Well, and the Maestro, wasn't that in the first one?
Yeah, that was
the
first.
second one?
That was the first.
Yeah, okay. Because we got the Maestro and Audette in the first book. Those are whole scenes that could almost be shows unto themselves if they're 30 minutes long.
I don't think they'll have Odette's breasts. I may be unduly pruding, but I just don't think they'll go to that level.
No, they could do them. They just have the holsters.
Oh, they could. Oh, absolutely. I just don't think they will. We'll see. We'll see.
But that's the thing. There's so many elements to it that it takes a lot to put it all together.
Yeah.
And that's where your television show kind of becomes the tossed salad that it is.
Yeah.
Could they make it good? I think it could be good. Yes. I think it could be
Definitely
enjoyable.
They could make it good.
And of course, then everybody who knows the books can go, well, you should really read the books because it's so awesome.
Yeah.
And you could be one of those people. How cool is that?
Although if you're listening to this, we would hope you've already listened to the books or read the books.
Oh, they're doing fine. I got the Cliff Notes on the book, so I pretty much know. It'd be hilarious if there were college Cliff Notes for this. I would love to read the Cliff Notes version of Dungeon Crawler Carl. Is that sad that I love the book so much? I would go back and read the Cliff Notes version of the book just to see what they say.
And then you write your own commentaries on the Cliff Notes.
You miss so much. I can't believe.
How could you possibly say this was what was really going through Carl's mind? It clearly shows on page 97, paragraph 4 that...
Well, that's part of this show that I really love, and Carl in general that I really love. Because there's people who ask, oh, what was it? Somebody said something about Mordecai in one of the comment things, and it was something really obvious. Like, why hasn't Mordecai just left the dungeon on his own? And everybody, of course, came in with, well, because he has a contract and he's supposed to be able to leave it at a certain time, blah, blah, blah. And the typical thing you would expect. But then a few comments down, like, that's a good point. Why didn't he break out? Why didn't he try? Why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he doing that? Everybody speculates. And this show does it way too much too, probably. But yes, there's an obvious answer.
I mean,
what if Luke had a sister? That'd be crazy, right?
And and Han and Leia's kid becomes the next Vader. What?
But it's the fun of thinking what could be. And I think part of the almost childlike innocence of being in the fandom right now. Maybe it'll be terrible in a couple of years and we'll all be like, oh, that was a dumb idea.
Fanfic.net would not exist without this.
That's true. Heck, I keep seeing so many High Zev license plates popping up on the internet. People getting High Zev. And it's like so just out there. I sent you that link, didn't I? The commentary from the guy who's like coming back from Canada. And
or going into Canada? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And
what's Zev?
He's like, what's Zev? It's from a book. And he doesn't say anything. And then the guy leans out and says, it's a really good book series. If you'd love me to hear about it, I'd love to tell you about it. And his daughter in the back says, God, no. And then the patrol officer's like, you can go ahead.
Have a nice day. Yeah.
Because we are the witnesses of Carl's witnesses. We will proselyte ourselves in full light of day.
The LDC, Latter-day Crawlers. The Church of Crawler Carl and the Latter-day Crawlers.
You and me should just go to door holding up the first book of Dungeon Crawler Carl. Have you heard the good word?
But instead of bicycles, we'd be like on motorcycles, but kind of kit bashed together weird motorcycles.
With a sidecar.
Yeah, with a sidecar and a cat in them because, gotta have a cat in them.
Well, it just makes sense with the cat.
Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense, Mike. What's wrong with you?
Oh, this would be a breaking point. Any Dungeon Crawler Carl fan in the fandom watching a TV show version. And I just want to point this out. I don't think they'll do this. I have no idea, and I certainly don't have a script. What if they go through and test audiences and find out the cat doesn't work? It needs to be a dog.
Yep.
Because I could see that happening. Going, yeah, it'll be a dog. And we won't call him Donut. We'll call him Sparky or something like that.
And have Arinda Gore as a cat girl.
Oh, God.
So you can have the
dogs and cats.
Dogs and cats. That's hysteria.
Oh, man. I think that was one of my favorite bits from the last book. What's the tattoo you're putting on? It's a dog. I didn't have to hear it to know in my head Donut saying, what?
This is an outrage.
Oh, poor Donut. But I could see them going, oh no, it's going to be better as a parakeet or better as a pony, something else. Or just make it
a little girl.
Beatrice. Yeah. Oh boy.
In a pretty princess outfit. See? Princess Donut.
No, dear.
It's his niece. He has to protect her.
See, that seems like something that would happen if it was the 70s. If they made a live action version and they just kind of like, we'll just slip this through and not worry about it. Nobody's going to care. Like this is something
kids
that would be noticeable.
Kids need a character. Well, only if it was a kid's show. Because kids need a character to identify with. Otherwise, they won't be interested. Excuse me?
Well, that's what Lucia Marr's there for.
There's a kid to identify with. Homicidal maniac. Anyway.
Well, here's hoping. I expect something will be at least a little funny. Hopefully, it'll be a lot funny. Hopefully, we'll all get to see another version of Dungeon Crawler Carl that's just a little different. I'm sure it'll be a little different, and I can live with that.
It would almost have to be a little different. It can't be exactly.
Just the adjustment to fit on the screen, to make it work.
Right.
Cut this scene or that. You may not know everything that's coming out, but
and
the
have
idea
quite
will
as
be
much
there.
Introspection on a TV show.
Yeah. But as we all know, we all have our limitations.
And Peacock will not break us.
No, they won't.
That came out sounding way more racist than I intended.